it was like one 40-yard return earlier in the season. But other than that, there's been no explosive plays out of the kick game.
No, you're right. And you know what? To build on what you're saying there, too, think back to the last 3 seasons. And think back to the last season that Josh Cribbs was returning. There used to be a time where you're watching the football game and you'd be like, well, at least we got a punt coming, so Josh
it's
Cribbs
our only chance.
take one to the house, or maybe Travis Benjamin can rip one off, you know. But now, I don't know what happened with Travis Benjamin's confidence. I think maybe with his broken, you know, with his injury last year, you know, he's afraid now. I don't know. I agree with you. Why not put him back there? He's one of the fastest guys on the team. He's proved he can punt return before. He's been one of the better punt returners in the NFL over the last couple of years. He just got injured last year. So, you know, there's got to be a solution. But to even go further, what you're saying, yeah, absolutely. Do I want the Browns to make a play on special teams and put their offense in a great spot? Absolutely. But I'm just asking for dog bone number 2. I'm just asking for no special teams blunders. Do the things that you're supposed to do in a football game on special teams. It's a very simple concept. I'll tell you what, J-Rock, if the Browns open the door for the Raiders on Sunday, I don't care if you're at home, you open the door for the Raiders on Sunday on special teams with a special teams error, this could be the Jacksonville game all over again.
Absolutely.
So dog bone number 2 is no special teams blunders.
I agree with you. Absolutely. You cannot gift wrap these things for like I said earlier. Somebody didn't just say, yeah, you could go play with the guys over there, go jump on the team and put a helmet on, you know. So I agree with you there for sure. And what do you got? Dog bone number 3.
Dog bone number 3 seems to be a theme this season that I don't like at all. Stop with the third and forevers. Third and forevers is killing the Browns. Third down has been a serious problem this season. Browns on the season are 26 of 78 on third down. That's 33%, which ranks them in the bottom 5 of the league, J-Rock. It's not third down in general that's killing the Browns. Last week, the Browns were faced with 3rd and 9 8 times or more. Time and time again, the Browns are finding themselves in third and forevers, and Cleveland finished last week 4 of 17 on third down. The Browns' game plan must all flow together if they're going to avoid these third and longs. Obviously, they have to establish a run. Nothing changes as far as strategy for the Raiders. The Browns must establish a run game to set up the play action. That's who they are. That's what their DNA has shown this season. And if they're to do that, I think the Browns can get back to the Browns of 2 weeks ago and victories on the horizon. But dog bone number 3 is let's end these third and forevers.
Yeah, I'm with you there too, man. Those are all, and they sound like common sense, but those are the things you have to do this week. And I am in agreement. That one drives me crazy too, by the way. And part of that's going to be getting your running game off, getting that going. And the Browns, look, we know what they've got to do, man. I mean, plain and simple. You have to go out there and play your game. You just have to be more physical than the other team. Are the Browns going to do that or not? I mean, they have no reason not to this week. I mean, if you needed motivation, you got it. If you needed fired up, you got whatever it is that you needed, you got it. That's why I'm saying you might as well just call this the no excuse bowl right here, because if you come away limping with your tail between your legs, then you've got to ask a lot of questions. And man, it's just going to get – the conversations are going to get a lot harder from here. You got to shoot the fish that are in the barrel. This one's right here for you. This is one – I'm with you. Jacksonville, the way they played and attacked up front last week, that's not just if you play your game, you win this game, plain and simple. That team showed up. To me, the Raiders are, if you play your game, you win. If you don't, then you take the chance of losing this thing. And that's the way I see this game right here. You go out, you establish like you did earlier in the season, you run the freaking football, and you get off the field on third downs. You'll win this game, and it won't be much of a big deal of a football game.
No, it's what you told me in your text earlier. This is a must-win game.
Don't repeat that.
I hate to say that, but this is a must-win game. The Browns played for the most part, mistake-free football and won 3 games to start off the season. Last week against Jacksonville, tons of mistakes, 3 turnovers, and look what happened. So the Browns just got to get back to what they were just 2 weeks ago. It wasn't that long ago, and just not make mistakes just like they did against Jacksonville. And you cannot hand the Raiders gifts. You cannot give them. Last week, Jacksonville scored 17 points off of turnovers. Browns do that this week, and this will be the Jacksonville game all over again, J-Rock.
I'm telling you, man. I mean, and really, how this week, we'll see what happens with the result. But Monday, I mean, you can spin it. There is no spin in the negative way. Browns win, and all of the craziness that people talked about this week becomes the Browns have won 3 out of 4, and they're above 500 and getting ready for Tampa. You know, I mean, it's amazing how quickly that can change. Like I said yesterday, man, you know, did the team win 5 of its last 10 or did they lose 5 of their last 10? It just depends on who's telling the story, you know, and so that'll be interesting how that comes out, but they got to do it. And that's it. I mean, what do you got for a score? All joking aside, you got the Browns winning this game?
All right, J-Rock, I told you I was going to take the Raiders.
I know,
but I can't.
I know.
I can't take the Raiders. There's no way. I watched this team. I mean, they're sorry, and they're sorry just like Jacksonville. This isn't a trap game anymore. This is a must-win. You don't take your opponent lightly game at home. I have this being back to the cardiac moments of earlier this season. And about 4:02 p.m. on Sunday, I have a feeling that Cundiff is going to knock a field goal in the final seconds or in the final minute, and the Browns defense will hold on if the Raiders get the ball back. I have the Browns taking this one 19-17. Against the Raiders. I think the offense still struggles. I think the Browns do establish a running game, but at 19-17, that's the Browns scoring 1 touchdown. So I think they're going to win. I don't think it's going to be pretty.
Ryan Ruiz, Dog Pound Nation. You guys can check him out, dogpoundnation.com. Check him out here on the Sports Fix each and every Friday with the 3 Dawg Bones to victory. So there it is, man. Now we'll see what they do, and then you and I will talk about it next week. And, man, this conversation can go one of 2 different ways next week. We'll have to see which way it goes.
All right, well, I'm not digging up another box next week. So this is you get a win. And you take care of business, and you take care of home field advantage, and you get to 4 wins, which so many experts and so many of our listeners thought that the Browns were just going to win 4. Well, all of a sudden you're not even halfway through the season, and you have 4 wins. So you just take care of business, J-Rock.
Hey, I had one guy tell me they lose out from here. I actually had 2 different people tell me that over the course of the last week. I'm just saying there's a lot of varied opinions right now. This week will go a lot to answering that. I mean, really, you'll know. Are you dealing with a decent football team, a better than decent football team, or are you dealing with a football team with a lot of issues that have been masked by the first few weeks? We'll talk about it here. Ryan Ruiz, you have a good one, and we'll check out next week.
Okay, J-Rock, thanks for having me as always, and go Browns.
You too. Thanks for being here. Ryan Ruiz, Dog Pound Nation. You guys check him out there, dogpoundnation.com. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to set the stage. World Series, Buckeyes, Browns, a lot going on this weekend, and we're going to call it a day. Don't go anywhere. Final segment of the Sports Fix coming your way, coming up next.
Like Mohammed Massacre, stumble down East 9th after early morning tailgate. You'll tell her, baby, my name holds weight. We fought repping all day hard. Think you open across the middle on me? TJ Ward.
And now, a very special announcement from the Sports Fix.
Black bears weigh between 200 and 500 pounds. Brown bears weigh between 300 and over 1,000 pounds. Black bears run away from you. Brown bears run at you. When attacked by a bear, simply lie still on the ground and cover your face and head with your hands. When the bear is finished batting you around and mauling you, contact the U.S. Forest Service.
And that was a message from the Sports Fix.
It's the Sports Fix. We'll be right back.
Fantasy sports lovers, you put so much time, hard work, and effort into playing week to week that it quickly stops being a fantasy and starts getting real. And when the smoke clears, you want to show off those victories with a real prize.
I mean, a really real prize.
Nobody does that like Fantasy Jocks. The crew over at Fantasy Jocks have beautiful, high-quality, and heavy-duty championship belts, rings, trophies, and so much more for all your fantasy sports needs. There's literally only one place to go. FantasyJocks.com.
In baseball, miracles can happen when a team works together.
2 out, bottom of the ninth, down to their last strike.
The same is true in the fight against cancer. That's why MLB has teamed up with Stand Up to Cancer. Because we believe that when we all stand up together,
41,000 on their feet,
we can make cancer history.
Now everybody's standing. What a buzz in this building.
This is beyond a dream. Stand up with MLB at standuptocancer.org.
Let's talk about the X's and O's of family entertainment. Every parent in Ohio knows the importance of being able to draw up an activity that'll get you out of the house for a couple of hours. But it needs to be affordable. It needs to be family-friendly. Above all, it needs to be fun. Now, let's talk about high school sports. Bang for your buck, school sports provide the perfect game plan for your family. You'll enjoy all of the drama and excitement competitive sports offer. You'll be supporting the future leaders of our community in a meaningful way. Best of all, you can take the entire family without breaking the bank. Heck, you won't even dent it. Now, enough chalk talk. Let's get out there and see what's playing at the high school in your community. School sports. Good for our kids, good for our community. This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Hi, this is Dean Chenoweth, head coach of Cleveland's Lake Erie Monsters, and you're listening to the Sports Fix.
Welcome back to the Sports Fix Live, final segment here across the Sports Fix Radio Network. You heard Coach Chenoweth of the Monsters there. They've got a triple threat, triple shot of goodness here coming up. If you're a Monsters hockey fan, of course, you can't see any of it in person because they're on the road all weekend, but you can catch it on the radio dial. You can go check out LakeErieMonsters.com, find out how you can listen to it. I'm not going to plug all that, but Monsters, 3 games this weekend. Tonight, 7 p.m. puck drop, Grand Rapids. Tomorrow, 8. Why are they going to put the different time zones in this that I'm looking at? You know, you can't just make it easy for the air talent. Looks like an 8 p.m. puck drop our time as they head to Milwaukee. And then Sunday, 5 p.m. it looks like the puck drops as the Monsters hook up with Rockford. And then they will have hit all of the divisional opponents here early on. Big triple weekend for them coming up here, and then they come back next weekend. You got the Monsters in Texas over the Halloween weekend and kicking off the month of November as they come back home next weekend. Doug Plagans, voice of the Monsters, will be with us to talk about this weekend. We'll have a lot to talk about. 3 games at Grand Rapids, at Milwaukee, wrapping it up Sunday at Rockford for the Lake Erie Monsters. And, of course, a lot of things going on this weekend. High school football all over the place. I've got Mayfield and Medina tonight. There's tons of playoff positioning and jockeying going along, and been a lot of fun to see all these different teams throughout the season, and then kind of compare them all. Can't wait for a couple of weeks until the playoffs hit, man, and then it goes up a notch. Take it up like Emerald. Take it up a notch, you know. Bam, boom, whatever it was that he said. But to bam, I think that was the Emerald thing. But he always took it up a notch before he bammed it. Looking forward to some high school football this weekend. Telling you guys, man, it's a breath of fresh air. There's a lot of football this weekend. Buckeyes, Penn State. You got the whiteout. It's going to be a crazy atmosphere there in Happy Valley tomorrow, and the 100,000+ to be a televised game under the lights. Big Test there. I mean, the Buckeyes should handle things. I mean, I guess Big Test is theoretical in terms of being able to handle the pressure of the lights and the bright lights and the big crowd, but should be a good one coming up there. And looking forward to seeing what the Buckeyes do. JT Barrett does as they continue to try to stretch the record books offensively for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Looking at another, 5 straight 50-point games, 500-yard performances, both school records as they look to add to that here. Penn State, no pushover, but as Dan and I said the other day, expect them. They just don't have enough firepower to keep up with the Buckeyes this weekend. Browns game coming up. We've already talked about that all